For centuries, the Vatican has stood as a symbol of faith and power, but also of secrets. Whispers of forbidden knowledge, hidden archives, and unexplained vanishings have fueled endless speculation. I dedicated 1,000 hours to digging deeper than ever before, exploring ancient documents, secret chambers, and shocking testimonies few have dared to reveal. What I discovered could shatter long-held beliefs and expose mysteries the Church has kept buried for centuries. From cryptic symbols to powerful cover-ups, this is a journey into the shadows of the Holy See. Brace yourself, because the truth behind the Vatican's darkest secrets may haunt you forever. For centuries, the Vatican has stood as the beating heart of the Catholic Church, a fortress of faith, power, and tradition. Its towering walls have witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the whispers of popes, and decisions that have shaped human history. Yet, lurking behind those ornate halls and sacred rituals are shadows, enigmatic secrets, unsolved mysteries, and whispers of forbidden knowledge that few dare to explore. I dedicated over 1,000 hours to peeling back the layers of this ancient institution. My journey took me through dusty archives, obscure texts, interviews with scholars and ex-insiders, and countless sleepless nights connecting cryptic clues. What I discovered was both fascinating and deeply unsettling. Let's venture into the labyrinth of the Vatican's darkest secrets and explore mysteries that have haunted the world for centuries. The Vatican Secret Archives, a fortress of forbidden knowledge. No discussion of Vatican mysteries can begin without mentioning the fabled Vatican Apostolic Archive, known until recently as the Vatican Secret Archives. The word secret here comes from the Latin secretum, meaning private rather than hidden. But semantics aside, the aura of secrecy surrounding this collection is undeniable. Spanning over 50 miles of shelving, the archive contains more than 35,000 volumes. Only highly qualified scholars are granted limited access, and even then, only to specific documents. The secrecy has fueled speculation about what might be hidden inside. Letters from Henry VIII pleading for his marriage annulment. The excommunication decree of Martin Luther. Correspondence regarding Galileo's trial. Potential records detailing dealings with Nazi Germany during World War II. Documents related to the controversial Vatican bank scandals. Conspiracy theorists believe it might go far deeper, suggesting the archive holds proof of hidden gospels or suppressed biblical texts, evidence of extraterrestrial contact, prophecies kept hidden from humanity. While such claims remain unverified, my research revealed that the archive's controlled access and strict confidentiality policies only heighten suspicion. Even historians who've been granted entry admit there are shelves and locked cabinets few ever see. The disappearance of Emanuela Orlandi, a Vatican cold case. Among the Vatican's modern unsolved mysteries, none is more haunting than the case of Emanuela Orlandi. In 1983, 15-year-old Emanuela, the daughter of a Vatican employee, vanished after a music lesson in Rome. Her disappearance became a swirling vortex of speculation involving the Vatican bank scandal and mafia connections, a possible exchange for the release of Mehmet Ali Agca, the man who shot Pope John Paul II, allegations of Vatican insiders involved in human trafficking or sexual abuse. Despite countless leads, documentaries, and investigations, Emanuela's fate remains unknown. A chilling twist came in 2019 when the Vatican allowed the opening of 2 tombs in the Teutonic Cemetery after an anonymous tip suggested Emanuela might be buried there. The tombs were empty. The case highlights how Vatican secrecy, combined with decades of rumor, can transform a disappearance into a symbol of something far more sinister. The prophecies of Fatima, messages from heaven or suppressed truth. In 1917, 3 shepherd children in Fatima, Portugal, claimed the Virgin Mary appeared to them, delivering 3 secrets: a vision of hell, a prediction of World War II and the rise of communism, a 3rd secret long kept hidden by the Vatican. It's the 3rd secret that has fueled endless speculation. Many believed it foretold global catastrophe, the assassination of a pope, or even the collapse of the Church. It wasn't until 2000 that the Vatican released what it claimed was the 3rd secret, a vision of a bishop dressed in white falling under gunfire, which many interpreted as referencing the 1981 assassination attempt on Pope John Paul II. But critics, including clergy and Fatima scholars, argue the true 3rd secret remains concealed because it allegedly warns of great apostasy within the Church itself, a revelation that could shatter faith worldwide. During my research, I pored over dozens of scholarly analyses and conspiracy theories about the Fatima prophecies. Whether the Vatican is hiding a text that predicts doom or simply protecting sensitive interpretations, this secret continues to inflame debate among believers and skeptics alike. The Vatican Bank scandals, money, murder, and mystery. Religion and money have long danced an uneasy waltz, and nowhere is that truer than in the saga of the Vatican Bank. Officially called the Institute for the Works of Religion, IGAR, the bank has been embroiled in a series of scandals that read like a political thriller. Banco Ambrosiano collapse. 1982, the Vatican held shares in Banco Ambrosiano, which went bankrupt amid allegations of money laundering, mafia connections, and illegal transactions. The bank's chairman, Roberto Calvi, known as God's banker, was found hanging under London's Blackfriars Bridge in what was initially ruled a suicide. Later investigations suggested murder, possibly tied to secret societies like Propaganda Do P2. The Vatican and mafia ties, documents, and whistleblower testimony hint at illicit financial dealings, from laundering mafia money to funding covert operations during the Cold War. Recent investigations. Even in the 21st century, Vatican financial scandals persist, with accusations of embezzlement and mismanagement reaching the highest levels of the Church. Over my 1,000-hour investigation, the deeper I looked into Vatican finances, the clearer it became that money and secrecy often breed dark alliances and dangerous consequences. The Vatican and World War II, shadows of silence. The Vatican's role during World War II remains fiercely debated. Pope Pius XII, who led the Church during the Nazi era, has been criticized for his silence regarding the Holocaust. While some historians argue he worked discreetly to save Jewish lives, others condemn his failure to publicly denounce Hitler's atrocities. In my research, I encountered reports suggesting the Vatican helped Nazis escape Europe via Ratlands, securing false papers and safe passage to South America. Claims the Vatican had detailed knowledge of the Holocaust far earlier than admitted. Files in the Vatican archives that might shed new light on the Church's wartime actions, but remain either inaccessible or only partially released. Pope Francis has opened some previously closed sections of the wartime archives, allowing scholars to begin re-examining Pius XI's legacy. Yet many files remain off-limits, perpetuating suspicion that secrets still lie hidden. The Vatican and extraterrestrials. Cosmic secrets? No deep dive into Vatican mysteries would be complete without mentioning perhaps the most fringe and fascinating claim, that the Vatican possesses secret knowledge about extraterrestrial life. Why do such rumors persist? The Vatican Observatory, one of the world's oldest astronomical research institutions, belongs to the Vatican. Conspiracy theorists suggest its true purpose is to monitor alien activity. Statements from clergy. In 2008, Father José Gabriel Finesse, then head of the Vatican Observatory, publicly stated that belief in extraterrestrials does not contradict faith, a stance that fueled speculation. Apocryphal documents. Fringe researchers believe the Vatican hides documents describing ancient encounters with non-human entities, sometimes linked to biblical visions. During my investigation, I found no solid evidence the Vatican is concealing proof of aliens. However, the combination of secrecy and official Vatican interest in astronomy continues to stoke the fires of speculation. Secret rituals and occult rumors. Beyond archives and finances, the Vatican has been the target of more esoteric rumors involving secret rituals, hidden symbols, and even connections to occult knowledge. While most such claims are baseless or wildly exaggerated, there's no denying that Catholicism, like many ancient institutions, incorporates layers of symbolism and ritual that outsiders can misinterpret as sinister. Among the theories I encountered, hidden rituals in catacombs beneath St. Peter's Basilica. The suggestion that the Vatican guards esoteric knowledge from ancient pagan religions, passed down through secret societies. Allegations of black masses or demonic rites, a favorite theme in anti-Catholic propaganda since the medieval period. Though my research found no evidence of genuine occult practices, I did discover how deeply the Church's complex rituals and secrecy fuel the imagination, feeding legends that refuse to die, papal assassination plots, and hidden history. Another dark thread in Vatican history involves the numerous assassination attempts against popes. Pope John Paul II, 1981, shot by Mehmet Ali Agca in St. Peter's Square. Conspiracy theories link the attack to Soviet intelligence, radical Islamists, or rogue elements within the Church. Pope John Paul I, 1978, after only 33 days as Pope, John Paul I died suddenly, officially ruled a heart attack. His death sparked rumors of foul play involving Vatican bankers, Freemasonry, and corruption. Documents from my research suggest some Vatican insiders were shocked by the speed of the Pope's burial and the lack of an autopsy. The potential for internal conspiracies adds yet another layer to the Vatican's enigmatic aura. Whether real or imagined, these stories feed a public perception that the Vatican is a place where truth and secrecy collide in dangerous ways. Why so many secrets? Unraveling the layers of secrecy in the Vatican and ourselves. Secrecy. It's a word that ignites curiosity, suspicion, and even fear. Throughout history, powerful institutions have cloaked themselves in secrecy to protect their inner workings. None, perhaps, is more famous or infamous for its secretive aura than the Vatican. Behind the towering walls of Vatican City lies the beating heart of the Catholic Church. Its grandeur inspires awe, but its hidden corridors spark endless rumors. Whispers of locked archives, forbidden documents, and clandestine dealings swirl through the centuries. Why does the Vatican keep so many secrets? What lies at the intersection of faith, power, and secrecy? I spent over 1,000 hours researching the Vatican's dark mysteries, and what I discovered reaches far beyond just papal politics or conspiracy theories. The phenomenon of secrecy is both deeply practical and profoundly human. Let's explore why so many secrets exist, why they persist, and what their existence tells us about the Vatican and ourselves. 1. Secrecy as survival. One reason for the Vatican's secrecy is simple: survival. From its earliest days, the Christian Church faced persecution. In ancient Rome, Christians gathered in secret catacombs, their faith punishable by torture and death. Keeping secrets wasn't optional, it was essential. As the centuries passed and the Church grew from persecuted sect to global institution, secrecy became a deeply ingrained habit. Even when threats shifted from Roman emperors to political upheavals, the instinct remained the same. The Church learned that some knowledge had to be guarded to avoid misuse, heresy, or chaos. Consider the Middle Ages, a time when Europe was rife with political intrigue, war, and shifting alliances. The Vatican, as both a religious and political power, had to protect delicate diplomatic correspondence, sensitive negotiations, and confidential matters of faith. To this day, papal diplomacy relies on a veil of confidentiality. Just as nations have classified documents, so does the Holy See. Secrecy, in this sense, is less about hiding sinister truths and more about ensuring the Church's survival and influence. 2. Doctrine and dogma, protecting the faithful. Another reason the Vatican guards secrets relates to doctrine and spiritual leadership. The Catholic Church sees itself as the custodian of divine truth, tasked with protecting believers from error. But throughout history, certain theological debates or controversial findings have threatened to sow confusion. The Church sometimes chose secrecy to shield believers from doctrines deemed dangerous or difficult to interpret without guidance. Take, for example, the Vatican Index Librorum Prohibitorum, the list of prohibited books. For centuries, the Church banned works that contradicted Catholic teaching or threatened to lead the faithful astray. While modern eyes see this as censorship, the Church framed it as pastoral care. Knowledge, the Church reasoned, could be powerful, but also perilous if misused. This protective secrecy extends to sensitive theological matters. For instance, apparitions and private revelations, like the secrets of Fatima, are often kept confidential until deemed genuine. Reports on alleged miracles undergo secret investigations to ensure authenticity before public declaration. Documents on exorcisms remain confidential to respect privacy and avoid sensationalism. Secrecy, in these cases, serves as a filter, protecting the flock from spiritual harm or confusion. 3. The weight of political power. While the Vatican is primarily a spiritual institution, it is also a sovereign state. This dual identity breeds secrecy. Consider the Vatican's unique geopolitical position. It maintains diplomatic relations with over 180 countries. It acts as a mediator in global conflicts. It protects persecuted Christians worldwide, often in regions where public involvement could endanger lives. Diplomacy demands discretion. Papal envoys negotiate delicate treaties, advocate for human rights, and sometimes intervene secretly in crises. Vatican archives hold centuries of diplomatic letters, private correspondence, and intelligence reports. Revealing these documents prematurely or at all could damage relationships, expose informants, or disrupt fragile peace efforts. This practical necessity for secrecy fuels public fascination. The less we know, the more our imaginations fill in the blanks with intrigue and conspiracy. 4. Scandals and institutional protection. Not all secrets stem from noble motives. Sometimes, secrecy is used to shield the Church from scandal. History offers sobering examples. The Inquisition. For centuries, the Church suppressed dissent through secret trials, torture, and censorship. Records were hidden or destroyed to avoid public scrutiny. Financial scandals. The Vatican Bank has been embroiled in numerous controversies, from the mysterious death of banker Roberto Calvi in the 1980s to modern money laundering accusations. Internal investigations are often shrouded in secrecy. Sexual abuse crisis. Perhaps the most devastating example is the Church's handling of clergy sexual abuse. For decades, documents were hidden, victims silenced, and perpetrators reassigned rather than removed. Secrecy here was not protective, it was complicit. These episodes illustrate how secrecy can become toxic. When protecting the institution outweighs protecting the vulnerable, secrecy breeds injustice and erodes trust. My research revealed a Vatican struggling between its instinct to protect itself and the growing demand for transparency. In recent years, popes have begun opening archives and pushing for reforms. But centuries-old habits die hard. 5. Mystique and ritual. The allure of hidden knowledge. Beyond politics and scandal lies another reason secrecy persists: mystique. Human beings are drawn to mystery. Secrets fascinate us because they hint at hidden truths, forbidden knowledge, and cosmic significance. The Vatican, with its ancient rituals, Latin chants, and ornate vestments, embodies this allure. Religious ceremonies, especially in Catholicism, are layered with symbolism. Bells, incense, sacred garments, all serve to veil divine mysteries. This theatrical secrecy cultivates awe. It signals that some truths are beyond ordinary understanding. Even architectural features contribute to the mystique. Vatican City is a maze of corridors, locked doors, and private chapels. The very structure implies secrets waiting to be discovered. Consider the Sistine Chapel, whose walls witness centuries of secret papal elections. Hidden rooms beneath St. Peter's Basilica, including the necropolis housing St. Peter's tomb. The Vatican Secret Archive, with its endless shelves and locked cabinets. Much of what's hidden is mundane, financial ledgers, diplomatic reports, but the secrecy itself fuels the imagination. The less we know, the more we suspect hidden gospels, alien contact, or earth-shattering revelations. 6. Fear of chaos and schism. Another reason for Vatican secrecy lies in fear of chaos. The Catholic Church is a global community of 1.3 billion people. A sudden revelation, be it a theological change or political scandal, could fracture unity. History has taught the Church that poorly handled revelations can spark schism. The Protestant Reformation erupted after debates over theology, indulgences, and church corruption spilled into public view. The modernist crisis in the early 20th century saw theologians censured for proposing new biblical interpretations. To prevent division, the Vatican often prefers quiet internal discussions before going public. Documents are studied, vetted, and interpreted before release. While this caution protects unity, it also creates an impression of secrecy. 7. The human drive for secrets. Ultimately, secrecy is not merely a Vatican phenomenon. It's human. From intelligence agencies to corporate boardrooms, secrets are universal. They provide advantages, preserve order, and maintain control. Humans keep secrets for survival, protection, and power. But we're equally obsessed with discovering secrets. This paradox fuels endless curiosity about the Vatican. Its very secrecy becomes a magnet for conspiracy theories. Why? Psychological thrill. Humans love puzzles. Secrets create mental tension, which we long to resolve. Desire for power, knowledge is power. If others know what we do not, we feel vulnerable. Myth-making. Hidden truths feed myths. The Vatican, steeped in ritual and history, offers fertile soil for legends. The Vatican's secrets, therefore, say as much about us as about the institution itself. 8. The Vatican Archives, where truth meets mystery. Perhaps the Vatican's most famous symbol of secrecy is its archive. For centuries, these archives have guarded papal correspondence with kings and emperors, records of heresy trials and inquisitions, documents on scientific disputes like Galileo's trial, diplomatic negotiations, and wartime reports. While thousands of documents are accessible to scholars, significant portions remain sealed. Some are withheld for political reasons, others to protect privacy. Yet the existence of locked shelves fuels wild speculation. Hidden gospels contradicting church doctrine. Evidence of secret deals with Nazis during World War II. Proof of alien contact. Prophecies predicting the church's collapse. I found no evidence of extraterrestrials or forbidden gospels. Most archives are surprisingly bureaucratic: letters, property records, and diplomatic memos. Yet the secrecy ensures myths will endure. Even mundane secrets gain mystique when kept behind locked doors. 9. Transparency versus tradition. Today, the Vatican faces unprecedented pressure for transparency. In an era of leaks, social media, and investigative journalism, secrecy is harder than ever to maintain. Recent popes have responded. Pope Francis opened the archives on Pius XII's wartime papacy. New financial regulations have been implemented to reduce corruption. Reports on clerical abuse scandals have been publicly released. Yet the Church also clings to secrecy in other areas. Many documents remain sealed decades after events. Old habits persist. The Vatican walks a tightrope between transparency to regain public trust, tradition, which values caution and confidentiality. This tension ensures that secrecy will remain part of the Vatican's identity for years to come. So, why so many secrets? After 1,000 hours of research, my conclusion is simple yet complex. The Vatican keeps secrets for many reasons: to protect doctrine and guide the faithful, to preserve diplomatic relationships, to maintain institutional stability, to shield itself from scandal, to cultivate spiritual mystique. Some secrets are justified. Others have caused immeasurable harm. But secrecy in the Vatican is woven into the institution's DNA. It's both shield and sword, defense and weapon. Yet, beyond the walls of Vatican City, the true mystery may lie within us. We're captivated by secrets because they promise hidden knowledge, power, and meaning. The Vatican's secrecy reflects humanity's own paradox, our desire to hide, and our burning need to know. So long as the Vatican stands, so too will speculation, rumors, and quests for forbidden truths. The secrets may never fully disappear. And perhaps in some way, neither should they, for it is in the search that we often discover the deepest truths about ourselves. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into the Vatican's darkest secrets. After 1,000 hours of research, it's clear there's far more hidden beneath the surface than most will ever know. What do you believe lies behind those locked doors and ancient archives? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss more journeys into unsolved mysteries. Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, sometimes the truth is stranger and far more chilling than any fiction. Stay curious and stay safe out there.